What's going on, Internet? I'd like to welcome you guys back to Respectfully Speaking, the podcast where we talk about all things geek. Thanks for tuning in into episode number 15. Now, Happy New Year, everybody, and we have a lot of big plans this year for you guys. But before we get into the topics, if you're watching the YouTube version of the podcast on youtube.com/respectfully speaking, know this podcast is also available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major platforms. My name is James, and I'm with my two co-hosts today, Jason and Malcolm. And go ahead, Jason. Go ahead.
Notice how this man said, "Yeah, let's definitely do a countdown," and still didn't do a countdown before we jumped up again.
Yeah.
But it worked though. It worked though. Like
It was about to not work. I almost watched it not work.
So
Like Doctor Strange Time Stone, like I saw the different dimension where you
saw the different versions where it wasn't going to work out well for us.
Mm-hmm.
But because guys, they don't know how to count down. They just wanted me to count down for them. So that's all it was.
Black people, bro.
So obviously it is winter 2026. Anime season has arrived. We all are on our different anime journeys. Some of us is watching some old anime. Some of us watching no anime. Some of us probably watching new anime. We're going to figure out who didn't watch any anime at all in the past few months. Malcolm, take it away. What have you been recently watching, or what have you been recently
I love
playing?
how you just like throwing shade at me, and then you know. So I've been watching a lot of basketball. I've been watching a lot of football. Black people things. I know they lost. I don't want to talk about it.
Don't gatekeep.
But
yeah, no, we're gatekeeping over here.
Yeah, right.
There are black people who don't watch sports.
I've been watching other things that also are not anime related. I recently saw the Fantastic Four, even though I'm like a couple months late on that. I thought it was a pretty solid movie. Not anime related, but I thought it was a pretty solid movie. James disagrees, but that's okay. Also saw Thunderbolts, also solid movie. Not as good as Fantastic Four, but still good. Catching up on my MCU, all that. But what else? I also watched the Percy Jackson series. The season 2 just came out. I'm about to binge watch that as well. I recommend it for any of those who read the books, who enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good, faithful adaptation. Anime-wise, have watched zero anime. So, yeah, 0 shows in the past couple months. But, that's not new. We all know. We all expected that.
I love this anime podcast right here, y'all. We have some really in-depth takes about anime.
We have 2.5 anime watchers on it. It's the 2.5.
Who's the half?
It's like 2.5 men, 2.5 anime fans.
There you go.
Didn't want to go to DreamCon either.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to DreamCon.
Couldn't afford it.
No, he didn't want to afford it. There's a big difference here. If he wanted to, he would save us some money and go. But he didn't want
to. Wanted to go, you would make it happen.
He has a cosplay too. He has a Naruto cosplay. He can just show up in that and call it a day.
Yeah, but
if we have any fans who wants to fund us,
don't have them fund your endeavors. It's this economy. We're struggling out here.
So you got to fund a 6-pack,
dude. Yeah, we're funding everything
like
else.
A 20-piece wing combo.
20-piece wing combo is insane. That's. I don't have no comments for that actually.
No comments. Anyways, right. James, what have you been watching for the past couple months? Sorry, Jason.
For me, yeah, Jason's last because we know Jason's gonna go on a whole spree about like all the subgenres of isekais.
All his isekais.
Yeah. I've actually been way off of isekais for the last 3 months.
Look, I think I agree with you, Malcolm, that Fantastic Four isn't a bad movie. I didn't give it a 7. I gave it like a 6.5 personally. But I had it in reverse. I thought Thunderbolts was a better movie than Fantastic Four, to be honest with you. Only because Jason never saw this movie because Jason doesn't go see movies anymore. So I don't want to spoil it.
We can count on him for not watching movies.
Yeah, it's his fault we're not watching movies. I won't spoil the plot for him, but let's just say the messaging of Thunderbolts resonated more with me than Fantastic Four's messaging. And I think Thunderbolts was more creatively made than Fantastic. Fantastic Four to me just felt like generic. We'll just say that to not do spoilers.
That's fair.
Now, in terms of what I am recently watching, I am watching 2 animes currently. One came out this winter season called Sentenced to Be a Hero. It's a fantasy. Only 3 episodes have been out. The first episode is like 58 minutes, like a whole hour long, and it kind of gets you into what's the lore, what's the stakes, who's the protagonist, and his motivations, basically, which I won't spoil here. I highly recommend you guys check it out. I think the premise of it is essentially just about. Actually, I don't want to spoil the premise for you guys. Just know if you're into fantasy adventure and you like complex, morally complex characters with grim dark backstories, I think you guys might like this type of show. I'll say that. The other anime I watched was a complete opposite of this show. So Sentence to Be a Hero is like this morally complex, dark, gritty type of fantasy world. This other one I'm watching on Amazon Prime is completely different. It's called Sanda. Not Santa, but Sanda. And this one I can kind of give you the gist of what the premise is, because to be honest with you, in the first 10 minutes, I kind of gives it to you anyway. It's about this kid who's 14 years old, and long story short, it's about him discovering his ancestors, and it comes from the ancestral line of Santa Claus. So it's almost like every generation there was a new Santa Claus that was descendant of the OG, and he is just the newest of the line of Santa Claus. But for this is set far in the future, like 2400, something like that. So this is a world in Japan where there is no Christmas, there is no winter holidays or nothing like that. And in this world, instead of parents and adults and elderly being seen as the most favored, it's actually the reverse. In this world, the children, since they are the future, they have all authority. There's literally laws where you cannot prosecute children. If a child wanted to make a bomb and blow up a school, by law they can, because they're so valued in society that they do not want to give these young kids any trauma at all. So this school and like this society is kind of like cultivated towards what children's likes and dislikes are. So the whole premise of this anime is that you have this 14-year-old boy who kind of gets to reveal that he is the ancestral line of Santa Claus. And throughout this, he learns some new abilities. There's some funny moments in here that I'm not going to lie to you. I might have to show you the trailer so you can see what I'm talking about. But hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, put the trailer.
If you're on,
I just added it to my list because this
of course
sounds
you
like
did.
really awesome.
It's so stupid. So Jason, so if you're on the audio version like Spotify, Apple Podcast, go to our YouTube. You can kind of see the video, but kind of like it's set in the classroom. Like I said, it's set in the far future, and the whole inciting incident of all of this is that a classmate was murdered or missing, whatever it is. Either way, they're gone. And one of the classmates had a close bond with this missing student, and this student somehow knows that the protagonist is Santa Claus, and the whole gist of the plot is trying to figure out what happened to this missing girl and where is she. And because of that, the conspiracy about what happened to the missing girl and the reveal of him being Santa Claus and discovering his powers kind of come together to give you like this weird, quirky, experimental type of show. This is not a show I would 100% recommend somebody who's never watched anime a day in their life. This is an anime where you are into like some humor, some emotional, inspirational monologue, and the most creative fight sequences with seeing this young teenage boy transform into a grown man whooping butt. So if you're comfortable with like the typical anime tropes that you see all the time and like fantasy and that type of stuff, this is for you. Do not recommend this to anybody if they've never watched anime a day in their life, because the humor in here is really only for people who's consumed anime regularly before. So, thoughts, Malcolm, Jason? Are you guys into it?
I added it to my list. Like, you were just like, this moral reversal world where the priorities on young people is interesting, but the obvious flaw of them not being able to be prosecuted is super interesting, and I just want to see how that, because that's half the reason why I like isekais, because it's like, give me a punchy out there idea and let me just see what happens. Although this isn't an isekai for obvious reasons, but anyways.
Yeah, and it's 12 episodes long too, so it's a good for like a good weekend binge or like a day binge depending on the person.
Is it a complete story, like, or is it like, oh, this is just a preview for the manga? Because
I actually don't know, to be honest, because when, like, I'll say this, I'm on episode 4 or 5 right now. Episode 1 didn't wow me. I would say this is definitely deserving of the 3-episode rule, because I feel like by episode 3, if you're still not feeling it, you may not really like the direction of the show. So I would say give it to episode 3 to see if you really like it. With that said, the way the plot is developing here, I can't see this go more than 24 episodes, to be honest with you. And I'm on episode 4 or 5 right now, and I'm telling you that I can't see this stretching more than like to episodes 30. I can see I can see 24 episodes of the story and then call it a day. So I don't know. I haven't Googled it to see how the manga, the length of it, or whatever. But I'm just saying how I feel from watching this episode by episode. It feels short. How about you, Malcolm? How'd you feel about Stand Up?
Well, you told me about this before when you first started. I think you called me like when you just finished the first 10 minutes of it, and you're like, I have to tell somebody about it. I guess you didn't know that it was going to be a mystery. If you told me it was going to be a mystery, I would have added it to my list. I was like, oh, I love a good mystery. But now that I got more of the plot, because all you told me was like, there's this kid. He finds out he's Santa, and like he's in a school in his class, and Santa's naked half the time, and he doesn't know why. We don't know why. We don't know why he's buff or anything. And I'm confused. And I'm like, okay, I'm probably not going to watch that, but okay. But now that you told me more and I got to see the trailer, I was like, okay, this seems more interesting. I'm more intrigued by this now.
Yeah. Hopefully, I think people would enjoy it if they just gave it a shot and just come away with it that it's not going to be your standard type of trope. It really is experimental. Other than that, I'm saving my rewatches, my anime rewatches for maybe springtime, because right now, man, yeah, Sins to be a Hero, Sanda for me. I gotta watch Gachi Akuda. I gotta watch JJK season 3 is out now. Like there's too many animes, too much anime for me right now. So
there's a lot of good stuff out.
Right? A lot of good stuff out, and it's like I hope that during springtime I can go back and watch Black Clover, because people have been hyping up Black Clover for me forever, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a chance. All right, Naruto clone, whatever, sure.
It's not a Naruto clone.
And then, yeah, I just want to go watch some oldies. So anyway, that's what I've been recently watching. Jason, how about you? What you been watching?
A lot less than I normally do.
I'm surprised actually, because you're usually, if y'all don't know, Jason watches a lot of stuff from isekais to action shonens to ecchis to all. Saying he doesn't watch no ecchi, but he has a very diverse palette. Yeah,
I think from late spring last year all the way straight through the summer into the mid fall, I was just like, I need to watch fantasy anime because I need something that's upbeat and plucky, and I think that's why I kind of leaned towards isekai for a while. I kind of hit my breaks with isekai in November, and I think part of it is because I was in between a move that made everything really annoying. You know how it was. I'm looking at my watch list, and there are a bunch of really good shows I was watching. Like, May I Ask for One Final Thing? I was watching that. I wrapped that up about a month ago. And then I can start to see the beginning of where I stopped watching isekai and fantasies. I started watching the Misfit Demon King Academy, and it was just really, really mid. Really good animations, really good fight scenes, but the story was just super mid and bland, and there was nothing really new. I didn't really finish that show. As some of you guys know, I started rewatching One Piece from the top. I reached Thriller Bark and then just took a hard pause at the very beginning of November. I actually recently finished up Thriller Bark. It's going great. Back on my One Piece, in my One Piece bag. There are a lot of good shows that came out this last season, like Kingdom. I was watching a little bit at the beginning of, but again, halfway through the month, all of my anime momentum just got derailed, immediately. And then there was fantastically terrible show. I don't know why it's so hot. I think it is it's what I think put the nail in the coffin on my like isekai ride. It was the my status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. I hate this damn show. It's so bad.
It's a classic.
I've never seen such good like this show. I feel like I watched some pretty trash anime recently. Like I watched Arfureta the World's Strongest, regrettably, and I just kept watching because I just wanted to see if it ever got better. I was like, how did it get 3 seasons? It has to get better, right? Maybe the manga was really good and that like kept the anime going, but no, it was just terrible, start to finish.
It was
This
great.
show is the most bland, edgy, like MC you can probably get, like with all the relationships, feelings, force. Like he saves this elf princess once, she immediately falls for him. The whole premise of it was really dope at the beginning. Like it's the whole like classroom gets isekai, not just one person gets isekai, and then like he's out here like more suspicious than everyone else. Like, this is kind of convenient for this like kingdom to just like want to treat us super well after like hiring us or whatever. Let me lie about my powers or my stats real quick so I can investigate. That was cool. It had me. Had a cool supporting cast. By the end of episode two, it just went from like really interesting isekai premise, cool main character. He has some kind of assassin. They call him the assassin, the legendary assassin. He hasn't killed anybody in the entire show. That doesn't
That's why
even
he's
make
legendary.
sense.
That's why he's legendary. You don't need to
He's
kill
the
people to be an
legendary
assassin.
who doesn't kill anyone. He's super edgy, has no reason to be. He's antisocial. He finally finds an elf girl. Suddenly he saves her and he's like, I don't want to save you just because you're just gonna like be dead weight. And he's like, no, I can travel with you. I can travel with you. Let's do this. Let's do this. She travels with him. Suddenly he's just like, I have to protect her because she's precious to me. Huh? Then he burns a wedding ring on his finger. Just like
Oh
this
yeah, I saw
stuff
that
is
scene.
like,
Dang man, you just spoiled it for everybody. What if they wanted to watch it? What if they wanted to watch the anime?
That's episode 5 out of like 12.
And you gave them the episode when it happens. That's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not missing anything. I have never pulled teeth to watch an isekai like this before, and I've watched some pretty bad trash. And I think
Yeah.
it's I think the writing is so bad that you can't do animation to cover over it. Like it's just so cringy. It is about as cringy and as like one dimensional as you can possibly write. What seems like it should be a more sprawled out story. Like I almost feel like this goes back to like I guess a hot take I'll talk about later, which is we need longer than 12 episode seasons because some of these stories deserve more world building and more breathing room for the worlds to be believable. But nothing about this feels real. I'd rather just rewatch the reincarnated as a slime show, and I already don't think
Ew.
that's like the hottest show in the world.
That's nasty.
Anyways, that's the show that killed isekais for me. Struggled to finish Windbreaker. Space Brothers is a great slice of life show that I was watching. On my third watch through of Black Clover, because why not?
People love Black Clover, man. I'm happy for you guys.
Skeleton Knight in Another World is a pretty interesting 12 episode run 'em and gun 'em isekai. It's fun enough to watch. Nothing crazy. It's better than the Assassin show because it doesn't overpromise and underdeliver like the Assassin show does.
I would agree. That's true. The premise of the assassin isekai is like, oh, a classroom of people with different abilities, and obviously the assassin's going to kill people, right? No, not really. I will say this: Jason won't want to watch. He doesn't want. He saw season one. He's done with it, and I get it. I get it. For me, the lore is. I like the conspiracy. I love conspiracies, and so it's less about the character arc of him and more so the conspiracy reveal that I want to see. So I'm gonna stick with this season 2.
Are there two well written characters in the whole show?
No, I mean they had.
What's the point of lore if I don't care about the people who are navigating it?
That's why, like for me, if the writer just said, "Hey James, I'm gonna send you an email. Here's a synopsis of the rest of the story, like the big beats of the story. Please send it to me so I can just read that and then I don't have to watch season 2 because I don't really need. I don't care about the protagonist. You know, I don't
care
really.
about anyone in the story.
And the elf, I'm sorry, I know we're just about to get into the show a little bit, but I just want to say this one thing too. I think the elf arc could have been extremely well if they didn't do like 2 episodes of it, of the elf. You had her sister who was evil, or not evil, but like, she had her motivations.
That was so stupid, bro.
But they had them. She had her motivations. Even though it was childish.
Malcolm, check this out. Malcolm, check this out.
Explain it to him.
Elf girl's on the run. We don't know why she's on the run. Our mystery boy, assassin guy who doesn't kill anybody, has these like random skills that don't make any sense, and he could like peer into like her mind and kind of like take a glimpse of how her powers work, but it accidentally reads part of her like memories, and so he's like, "You're the elf princess," or whatever, right? Come to find out later, they get spit out of a dungeon on the other end of something, and the next thing you know, they're back in the homeland. The other princess, the sister, can't stand the elf princess right there, the blonde chick. She can't stand the original princess, and the reason why, James, what's the reason why she can't stand the elder sister?
Don't make
explain
it
to me.
No,
explain it. Go ahead.
There's no reason on why. Okay. The reason why she has a problem with her sister is because her sister got special magical abilities earlier than her. That's it. This is the scene. This is the scene where we get her motivations pretty much. Whereas like, why does she hate her older sister? It's because she's a spirit medium, like the ones of legend, and that is why her sister doesn't like her.
But she used to love her for it, and then just randomly didn't love her for it, and then there was some traumatic memory, and then the older sister saved the day, but then because of what happened was so traumatic,
everybody stopped caring about
memory.
Her. Mm-hmm.
They erased the traumatic memory where the younger sister, the blonde one, her vassal got killed because of her. The white-haired princess saved the day, but the whole experience was traumatic, so they erased the memory. And the obvious conclusion is that causes her to hate the older sister and therefore challenge her to a duel, use her special magic ability to turn everyone in the kingdom against her, and then treat her like a branded criminal while the father is out of town to try to get her executed the second she's in. What the hell? And we get all of this in like
2 episodes.
Maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, she's crying at the end, and she was just like, "Why can't you be the way that I need you to be?" And then he's just like, "Will you stay?" Like, and he's like, "No, this has nothing to do with me." Blah blah blah. He's just being edgy. I'm like, bro, who wrote this? Who was this written for? Who's the target audience? I can't tell.
Now, I thought this arc was gonna be really good. I thought this arc could work if they let it breathe for a little bit, because I think the elements are there. The sister, the betrayal, the reveal about the spirit medium, the rift. You might have to change the motive a little bit better. But like the bones were there, and that's how I feel about this entire show. The bones are there for a good isekai conspiracy theory type of show, but the execution is not as well written, unfortunately.
Long story short, it's all bones and no organs.
Yeah, it's all bones, no organs, and that's why I'm still watching it, because I like the bones, but Jason wants the organs, so he's dropping it. So
don't say it like that, bro.
Oh, my fault.
This sounds kind of weird.
Oh, my fault. My bad.
I want a story that makes me care about the characters. Because imagine if imagine if you didn't care about the Straw Hat Pirates.
He doesn't. Malcolm literally doesn't care about the Straw Hat Pirates.
Then all the lore and the world building means nothing if you can't care about. See, and you can cognitively recognize the lore and be like, this is good. I don't care.
I don't care.
Because if you don't care about the characters, then what's the point?
Malcolm's an outlier. We don't listen to him.
I've watched so much garbage. I was pulling teeth to get through this thing. At least the garbage I was watching, it actually delivered what it said it was going to give you within its premise. Arufureta, the world's strongest. I hate that show. It did a better job with execution of classroom-wide isekai situation. Anyways, Banished Court Magician, super mid, super fun to watch.
You spent 15 minutes on
He has a deep passion for this anime. He loves it.
I think I hate that show. I saw the super edgy show. Kid recommended to me. He was just like, "Oh, watch The Witch and the Beast. It's alright. It's like a really fun 6 out of 10." Um,
Not it.
Lots of Black Clover,
Of course.
more One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly fell off of watching a ton of anime. Oh, Dragon Raj is awesome.
Dragon Roger, it's a Chinese light novel. They were cooking over there. They were cooking. If you're
Yeah, they
into
were
like
cooking with that show.
Malcolm, if you're into like magical academy type animes, where like you have these abilities, but you have to go to a whole nother world to kind of like refine your skill sets, and there's a whole new cast of characters, whole new world, whole new lore, all this other stuff. Dragon Rod is definitely for you too. It's I don't want to say it's a battle shonen because it's technically not really, but it has a lot of action sequences. It has a multi-layer plot of mystery and development of characters. I think you'll like it. It's just about some dude who it's just about some kid who grew up. Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. He grew up with foster in the foster system, right?
No, he didn't. So his
Dang, I got
parents
that
are
wrong.
prodigies at this secret society of dragon hunters. He doesn't know anything about this. All he knows is that his parents are well off. They send plenty of money to his aunt, uncle, and cousin to take care of him. He lives there. He loves being mediocre. He enjoys it. And he kind of flies under the radar, just trying to mind his own business. Until he finally gets scouted by the folks who run this academy. And then they really just try their best because they're like, dude, you don't understand how much potential you have as like a potential student and as a potential dragon hunter. We need you at our university. They scout him. They eventually let him know, like, yo, dragons really exist and they are the scariest thing out there. And if the world actually knew how dangerous they were, like everything would be upended. So this prestigious university, it is a pretty prestigious university, but it's also halfway in front because it's also a university where you're like learning how to fight dragons and all that good stuff. A lot of interesting characters so far. The writing is very much taking its sweet time, really fleshing it out. Now, I would say the bones here are weaker than the other show, but the execution is fantastic. The production value is peak, and every character seemingly matters right off the jump. And
Right off
I
the jump.
I can get down with that.
I can too. So I feel like if you guys are into that type of stuff, then hey, check it out. Check it out. What else, Jason?
Common Rider.
What?
Tojima wants to be a Common Rider. This is goofy,
That sounds goofy. What is that?
hilariously goofy anime that came out last season. Imagine if somebody grew up watching Power Rangers and they were like poor and like that gave them hope and then they really thought that they could train themselves to be real Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. You're talking about this.
That's
This
what this show's about.
I saw the trailer and I was like, this goofy thing. I'm not interested whatsoever. It was like
Dude, you
whatever.
gotta watch at least the first episode. This is a one episode rule show. I will give this one episode. If you don't like the first episode, don't bother watching it.
What do you think, Malcolm?
But
You should
what
actually give it
really
a
had
chance?
me rolling is
Okay.
like within 5 minutes of the show, you just see him flashback thing when he's older and he's just in the woods, just like boxing trees and stuff. And a bear shows up and he punches the bear out. Like he beats a bear up. Mind you, then it flashes back a little bit to high school. There's a situation where this girl, she confesses to him, right? She confesses to him as a prank because he's like a little bit weird because he's a little nerd trying to be a Power Ranger. And essentially, he's like, wow, like, yeah, I would love to go out on a date with you. And then she's like, I'm sorry, that was a prank. I actually didn't want to go out with you. And he's like, oh, dang, that kind of sucks.
That's
He moves
terrible.
on. They start making fun of him. And then the next day, um, he's at the school. And then, like, some other guys from another school showed up. And then to get at the guys that know the girl, they tried to, like, grip up this girl. He shows up and he, like, three pieces these guys. And then she was like, didn't you go a little too far? And he was like, no, they started it. They got what they deserved. Walks away. Those three guys he beats up show up to the school with like a whole like 12, 15 guys, and they're about to just jump the mess out of him. They start beating like he was winning for a little bit, but like you're one guy fighting 15 students. He's losing. Everyone's like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And then he was like, I guess I have to do it. I have to do it. He pulls his shirt off, and all you see is like what looks like the lines of like the uniform of a Power Rangers joint. He markered it on, and then he did the pose, and then transform. And he's like, transform, Kamen Rider. And then he got up and beat the brakes off of everybody. And then the girl looked at him, and then all you see is his face all bloodied up, and she just screams and runs away. And that's the end of the first episode.
That sounds so stupid.
Dude, it's so funny and goofy and like over serious. But the crazy thing is, the larger premise is like the villains in the show actually exist in the real world. So what he's been cosplaying all these years to fight against, the Shocker group, they exist in real life. And this story is when all of his training pays off. Him and a bunch of other people who also got too into the show.
Can the bear talk?
No. I mean, they give you the bear's thoughts.
Oh, because he was like saying he is human. Interesting.
He was like, "Is this guy human? Like, why is he fighting me?"
Yeah, and they got all this going on. This is Malcolm. When I saw this trailer, because I was because I typically do like a week before the new season comes out. I like look at my anime list. I look through some trailers, try to see what the vibe is before I add it to my list. This was on like my anime list of people liking it. I watched the trailer. I was like, it might be a little bit out of my like. This felt like something where like I'm sure Japanese people really love, just may not be for me personally. But
I wouldn't expect you to like this.
But I would. Jason says one episode rule. He says one episode.
If you don't like it at the end of episode 1, don't watch it.
You guys hear it first. Go see that Koji. What's it called, Jason?
Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider.
Yeah, wants to be a Kamen Rider. Kamen, Kamen Rider. So make sure y'all check it out. Watch this episode. Let us know what you think about it, and prove Jason's anime recommendations are actually good, or are they actually not?
It's not necessarily a recommendation. It's like if it's the vibe you like it or you don't. Same thing with JoJo. I don't know anyone who's middle of the ground with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You either really like it or you really don't.
That's true. Either you like it,
because
either you love it.
Because it knows its audience and it plays the audience.
Yeah, I agree. No, there's no middle ground there.
There's no middle ground.
All right, y'all. So we're caught up now. We all know what we're watching or not watching. The next thing that we want to talk about is hot takes, because I saw some videos on. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was on TikTok. I saw some things. I saw some people saying stuff, very, very blasphemous stuff too. And I was like, I have my own hot takes. I'm tired, and mind you too, we all came up with our own hot takes. My hot takes in particular, I wanted to make sure mine weren't like, I didn't want it to be something where people say, "Oh, I have an unpopular opinion," but really it's a popular opinion. Everyone already agrees with it. I didn't want that.
It's like Attack on Titan is a good show. Like that's my unpopular opinion. Like
right.
Really,
no, Aaron was right. That's not really an unpopular. Like some people agree. Not everybody, but some people agree. I sat down and I thought really, really hard what I wanted to say to both of you that I feel not just for entertainment, but there is a part of me that does believe these hot takes in a way. So I don't want to go first, but if you guys want me to go first, I'll go first.
I'd love you to go first.
All right.
Please set the tone.
All right. So I got 3 hot takes here, but I'm going to start with my cool one, and then we'll rise up to it. All right. So my first one is a Shonen fan is an Ecchi fan. You can't. A Shonen fan is an Ecchi fan. Literally.
No.
Jason is trying hard.
Literally, a lot of shonen, a lot of old shonen and new shonen have comedic sexual gags that can make a shonen fan pipeline into an Ecchi fan easily.
I will say that they can pipeline them, but they are different.
That's what a shonen Ecchi fan would say.
Stop that.
All right, fine. Explain to me.
We've talked plenty on and off the pod about the fact that the fan service in anime is the hardest part of recommending it. And a lot of shows are enhanced by the lack thereof, aka a lot of the best shonen that have come out in the last 5 years. There's not really any, there's a almost non-existent amount of fan service in Attack on Titan, which is more seinen than shonen, admittedly. Um, whatchamacallums, Jujutsu Kaisen does not have any fan service necessarily. It has like pretty characters, but not fan service. You know what I mean? Like
I can
not
understand
like
that.
ecchi, like
Mm-hmm.
like distracting like sexual content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone agrees that Fire Force was made to be a worse, if not unwatchable, show because of the fan service and ecchi in its show.
That's one of the downsides of it, though, is people say the fan service
But
is too
then,
much.
why would we all have that opinion if to be a shonen fan, is to be an ecchi fan? Otherwise, everyone would have been like, "Cool, let's rock with it."
Because people don't want to admit to that because is a bad connotation word. No adult is going to want to sit there and admit that, like, yeah,
I'm a pervert.
right.
No one's
gonna want to
say
admit that, like, yeah, they want to watch that type of content because
Nah, there
like
is a goondemic out there. People are pretty loud and proud about it. But I will say,
shonen fans are the goons. They are the gooners.
I don't
They're
think
like,
shonen fans are the goons. I think shonen fan. Well, what is it that attracts you about shonen?
for me personally,
No, all right. Let's just say what attracts people to shonen.
oh, people. I mean, power scaling easily. Power scaling hype moments
Boom.
easily. Yes.
Then shonen fans aren't explicitly ecchi fans. Because
No.
there is so much ecchi anime, but people are sitting here watching Hajime no Ippo because they want to see people box. They're watching Dragon Ball Z because they want to see people box. Obviously, that same demographic that's into X might also not mind ecchi scenes. Let's be real here. But
Yeah, like 14, 15, 16-year-old boys,
like when I was 12 years old watching Naruto, I was cool with it.
Yeah, like when you see those gags, those sexual gags appear throughout the shonen animes, like the Naruto's, for example, My Hero Academia, perfect example. They literally have an entire character where his whole thing is being like a pervert, the little boy with the little balls in his head and everything like that. Like that is a sexual gag. That is the reason why it is popular. The reason why, I'm sorry, not popular. The reason why like that type of character is in that show is because of the belief that young boys are into that type of stuff, which would then mean they're into that type of content, like High School DxD.
I mean, I'll agree that a lot of young guys are into that kind of content. I would be being a liar if I said that's not true. But then to say that if you're a shonen fan, then you were an ecchi fan,
Mm-hmm.
that's like saying, oh, let's say, for example, being attracted to other humans, does that make you a gooner?
Other humans, what are you talking about?
Like, say, for example, like, you're a guy and you think women look like whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you a gooner necessarily just off of your basic biological tendency to be attracted?
No, but that's biology. This is viewing habits.
Wait with me. Wait with me here. Wait with
Go
me
ahead.
here.
Go ahead.
So if you see a scene, you're like, wow, you didn't click on the show looking for that, but since it was there, you didn't mind. Versus, all right, I'm on my computer and I'm trying to find something that is gonna like hit that spot right now, and then you put on like freezing vibration. Then you're a gooner, but that's not shonen. That's ecchi. That's different. This is a different joint. You know what I mean?
But it's because if you're watching these show, like I hear your point. I hear what you're saying. But that's my point, is that you're consuming shonen content that embodies these elements in it. It may not be the driving plot, it may not be that, but then it allows
that's the core of the show.
It conditions you to be okay to consume some other content that's more extreme. All shonen is,
I'll agree with that.
all shonen is, if I'm gonna stay on business on this, all shonen is the gateway drug to ecchi. I'm gonna say it right here. Shonen anime, old and new, is the gateway anime to the High School DxDs, the Freezing Vibrations, all of them, because it's like that little. It's the drug. It's like, oh, you like a little bit of this comedic gag of this girl's painting showing. Okay, you like a little bit of these scenes of the girls moaning and stuff, all this other stuff. Okay, guess what? We have a whole show that has that at the forefront for you, and it has superpowered people like Valkyrie Drive. Like, what are we talking about?
Malcolm will tell you is that he watched the whole thing.
No, but like that's the point I'm making. Is that
just air that out.
If
like
you're watching My Hero
nothing,
Academia,
crazy.
That's crazy. Just aired it out like that. But the point I'm making is that like if you watch those type of shonens where they give you that type of sliver, and you're like, I want the main dish. The main dish is Valkyrie Drive and Freeze and Vibration. Then it's
you
like
can say that about any form of media. I feel like this is a really like. I think it's a very like flimsy, overgeneralized argument because, all media is sexualized.
So,
could you say Malcolm, listening to Usher songs is a gateway into like being a sex addict?
Yeah, probably.
Cheating?
No, not being a sex addict. Malcolm's face. If you listen to Usher, you're a cheater. No, that's not true.
It conditions you to be okay with cheating and letting it burn. And
I mean, look at Neo and Trey Songz. I'm just saying. Well, hold on.
I'm out here trying to fix my microphone, and I'm getting shots taken at me. I'm getting accusations
because. Okay, hold on.
I hear you.
Go ahead.
Anime does condition cats to be normalized and okay with certain gags, and I'll agree with that. Because to a certain degree, you watch anime at a young age, like we did, and it's just kind of like, oh, this is what it is, and you don't realize how inappropriate it is until you're watching it with someone who doesn't watch anime, and you're like, oh crap, that's weird, that's sus, that's definitely sus. Literally, Dragon Ball, Master Roshi, dude, the entire plot to getting half of the original set of Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball was super duper sus and does not age well whatsoever. Yet we'll still call Dragon Ball classic, and we'll still call Dragon Ball Z a classic. Yeah. And I'll agree with you when you're talking about shows like that it primes you or whatever because it uses humor to normalize suggestive content. Mm-hmm. I'll agree with you, but that's just a part of that medium's sense of humor that's been established by this show did it and it's good. The next show's going to do it. I think to say that all shonen does that, I think is a gross oversimplification of the genre. I don't think all shonen does it.
Okay.
I think a lot of it does, and I'll agree with you. I'd say a lot of mainstream anime does gateway you into other things, but you could say that about anything.
So your stance is more so not necessarily saying that I'm wrong on my stance, but that all media forms of media has some type of element that they possess that can build a pipeline to something more extreme.
Anything can lead to anything, especially with the internet. And the reality is the human inclination to pervert things. Literally, the fact that Rule 34 exists. Let's be real, bro.
Don't Google that if you don't know what it is. Don't Google it if you don't know what it is.
Don't Google it.
Yeah, don't.
The reality is, sometimes without the artist even wanting it to be that go in that direction, people are going to bring things there, and so I think it's a bad faith take. Even if you're making the take, I think it's half true, and also overgeneralized and bad faith.
So I want to hear Malcolm's take on this. He was fixing his audio the entire time. So Malcolm, what's your take on all this?
I agree with James, and I'm not going to elaborate.
Wait. What, Malcolm?
I agree with James, and I'm not going to elaborate.
You need to elaborate. You're not allowed to not elaborate. This is a podcast. You got to talk.
I think he said all the talking points. He's absolutely right.
No. I want to hear your words. No. I want to hear your words.
This is working here. See, my point is proven.
Because I didn't disagree with you, but I want to hear your words.
Essentially, like
that's true.
I think when he's speaking, like he's not trying to generalize every single shonen fan will turn into this, but a heavy majority of shonen fans will lead to this due to this, and I think it's more than 50% of shonen fans go from like, oh, I really like Naruto, I really like Dragon Ball, I really like this, to like this has more like pervertedness, this has more fan service in it. And there's still some action. I want to see this. Like High School DxD. I think that's a perfect example of like...
Example. Jason never watched it, by the way.
I guess I'm on the outside because I never watched it.
And that's fine. You don't need to. But it's a perfect example of like, they're still fighting in this. but there's more nudity at the same time. There's more of what I want.
Well,
That's
I
a good
watched
point because
Gurren Lagann when I was 12, so I guess I can't say much.
it's the pipeline. It's the gateway drug to more of the
I
extreme side.
don't want it to be true.
It's true.
He's trying to protect the show. Listen.
I don't even think this
want
is
it
a
to
hot
be true
take.
because
Really?
because it doesn't. That's why I'm saying it's not necessarily wrong. I just feel like it's not a fair take.
It's not.
Because,
I think we're just saying
because I think the take almost suggests that the majority of the content of shonen is ecchi, when it is very much on the periphery and kind of sprinkled in here and there.
I see what you're saying, and that's why I was saying it's a gateway because it gives you that little bit of it throughout the shows. It's usually
There's always the hot spring episode.
it's hot spring episodes,
And there's
beach
always a beach
episodes,
episode.
especially when they do volleyball episodes, and like that's why I'm saying it's a gateway because if you watch, especially maybe not now because I'll reframe and I'll admit this part. There is the new gen shonen now that's being a little bit more serious, more mature, like Chainsaw Man, JJK, and things of that nature. So they're not doing it.
Chainsaw Man
But
is for gooners, bro.
yeah, and that's fair actually. But not even like 2 or 3 years ago, there was from 2 3 years ago all the way to the past. Shonen, it was like typical of just gag, and the gag was usually revolved around a woman and some type of sexual innuendo, and people ran with it. And Malcolm made a good point about High School DxD is that what made a lot of these ecchi animes, um, they have some type of battle sense, some type of battle structure to their show, but it's just way more nudity involved in there now. That's all it is. Like that's why Malcolm loves High School DxD so much is because it's a great power fantasy with some extra stuff in it, right, Malcolm?
I think that's power fantasy. I think that's what it is.
It's a nude power fantasy. Is what it is.
Power fantasy. Do you think power fantasies are at the core of shonen?
Yes,
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, then of course it's gonna have titties in it sometimes.
See, so now Jason agrees. At the end of the day, we're right.
If you're 14 years old
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to like relate to a main character, and especially since Naruto came out, it's usually an underdog who has hidden potential because everyone wants to believe they have hidden potential. Most teenagers have had a crush or have a crush in that period of their lives, and of course, you write a story. You can relate. Damn it, James, you're right.
Yeah. Now,
I'm just mad because that wasn't really a hot take. You
Um,
just said facts. That's just all it was.
see, as a fact,
I didn't want to hear it because for me, I think as we're getting a little older, like I don't watch a lot of the original shonens that we used to watch because a lot of it isn't really watchable to me. Even if I might say if I could go back and be that age again, I'd probably still enjoy it if I was 14 or 15. It's been a very long time since I'm 14 or 15. So for me, I can't relate. There's no entry point for me, like mentally. But then I'm watching shows like Black Clover, and I was like, well, what is it about this show that I really love? I'm not gonna say that show's perfectly like clean up your take, unfortunately. But there's something about like a show that is simple about working hard and chasing some abstract dream and like friendship that is the main draw. And I think there's something about boxing and friendship that draw people to the shonen demographic.
yeah, understandable.
And I think that's so much more at the heart of it than a lot of this ecchi on the periphery. Even though we can agree ecchi is going to be sprinkled a lot throughout the shonen genre. To
That's
the point
fair.
where up until recently, if you told someone you watch anime, you might as well just said, "Hey, I'm a little bit of a pervert."
That's fair. That's
Up
true.
until maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, my second one, I think I don't know which. Okay, because I said I was gonna do my hottest one last. So I'm yeah, okay. I'm not gonna do that one's be safe for last. So my next one that I'm gonna tackle is the big three is responsible for the toxicity in shonen anime discourse, and we need to move on from all three of them.
Wait. The what? The big
The
three is what?
The big three is responsible for the toxicity in shonen anime discourse, and we need to move on from all three of them: Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. They are all responsible for the toxicity we have in this current era of shonen, and we need to stop talking about all three of them. Once One Piece is done, we should be done talking about the big three and move on from them.
I don't think it's a hot take.
Good. Malcolm?
I also don't think it's a
That
hot
includes
take.
Naruto.
Hey, first of all, nobody's talking about Naruto anymore. I wish they were, but the dream's dead. It's okay. Bleach came back, so that's why people are talking about it. One Piece is still gone, that's why people talk about it. But like, no one's really talking about Naruto. Again, I don't really know if this is a hot take. I think it's just, I think you're just saying opinions people don't want to say out loud, but are just like facts.
Well, then that's why I see it as a hot take. Is like they're scared to say it out
Unspoken
loud.
popular opinions.
Yeah.
Okay. Unspoken popular opinions. Okay.
But
Because
I
for
will
me-
say, I think what James is, at least how I took what you were saying, is like the way that people talk about anime discourse, because people started doing the DC versus Marvelization of anime, except they did it with the big three. And then because there was that prominence for like almost a decade, up until like Bleach got canceled in 2012, now we do that with every season. And now we keep trying to find three shows. We keep trying to find three shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
constant
agree
new
that we
gen.
need to let the idea of a big three ever existing ever again go, because anime is just a different industry than it used to be. Even One Piece is finally done being serialized and now has switched to being seasonal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. The big three popularized hype and aura moments, power scaling, nostalgic gatekeeping from fans who were already fans in anime and then kind of little
Yeah.
feel a little some type of way about the newcomers
For
coming
those who've
in,
been there for 20
and
years.
a lot of these hype expectations. Because I think JJK. And I think that's why like animes like the JJKs and even Black Clover, I'll throw them in there too. Like got so much pushback early on because people were so focused on the idea of like, oh, these are just like the big three, but like in a different setting or whatever. And it's like, first of all, who cares? Like, there's so many stories that had ninjas or boats or demons or whatever, and if it's just told in a different way, it is what it is. Like, I don't really care. That was my OG complaint about Demon Slayer. I still don't like the anime. I still think it's generic, straight by the book type of storytelling.
It's very mid story.
But it's a very mid story. But hey, people like it because even though it takes a lot of shonen inspiration, it is still its own story, regardless of how I feel about the quality of it is. So, yeah. Um,
I have a hot take.
wait. Let me wait. Say write it down so you don't forget it.
Let me write it down before I
Right.
forget that one.
Yeah. Write it down real quick. While he's writing it down, Malcolm, did you watch all of the Black Clover anime?
No.
Or no?
I'm with you.
No? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be upset if I spoiled anything related to the Black Clover anime?
I'd be a little upset. I don't think it's necessary
A
to
little
spoil.
upset? Okay. No. All right, cool. Say no more. I'm just gonna do this then. Keep it simple. How far did you get in Black Clover? Did
Like
you get
5
far into it or not really?
episodes. I couldn't even tell you what happened in
Dang.
those 5 episodes.
Okay. Let's see. Well, if I did the trailer for Black Clover season 1, would that upset you?
No.
It wouldn't be a spoiler.
No? All right, cool. We're going to do that one then for a little bit. Did you write it down, Jason?
Yeah, I just did.
All right, cool. All right. So, here is my final hot take. And this might actually, like, now that I hear like Malcolm's perspective on this might be one of those like unspoken popular opinions, maybe, but I'm still gonna throw it out there because I thought I really like this take a lot. Black Clover's success only, and I emphasize this, only happened because Boruto got the Naruto clone hate first. Black Clover's
No,
success only
no,
happened
no.
because Boruto got the Naruto clone first. And hold on, I got proof here. Hold on, because Boruto anime. I googled this because I wanted to make sure if I say this on this podcast, I knew Jason would be the first one to attack my point. Boruto anime came out 2017 in April. Okay. Black Clover also came out 2017 in October. So 6 months later. And we all know when Boruto first came out, people were trashing it, saying this is terrible, not good quality, blah da da da. Black Clover came out and people had the same heat for it, but they wasted all their energy on hating Boruto that it didn't stick with Black Clover.
I disagree because nobody's ever done hating on the internet. The internet is
bro.
never out of hate.
Nah.
For one. So that's a bad argument. Two, I think the reason why the hate died down is because this show wasn't a Naruto clone, and as it progressed, it lost all the similarities, all the key similarities in the original intro. They fell apart because the argument was hollow. Yuno was not Sasuke, and Asta was not Naruto.
So your argument is when people started
And
seeing more of it, it died
the
down a
basic
little bit.
arc, the basic story structure was different. I think the only thing they had in common was so Naruto wanted to be Hokage. The why is completely different because Asta wanted to be the Wizard King for a completely different reason than Naruto wanted to be Hokage.
Mm-hmm.
Asta was hated on, but he's also a very loved child. He was loved, and people had no expectations of him. Naruto was abused, denigrated. He was like,
outcasted.
There was an orphanage, and they still gave him an apartment to live in by himself.
Yeah. He was
You know how crazy that is? That they don't let you stay in the orphanage as the other orphan? They just make you live by yourself as a baby?
Yeah.
Do you know how crazy that is?
But none
like
of that
Naruto
matters,
and Asta stories are so no. But again, like when it first come out, people only look at what's similar because that's just what everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
The differences were so glaring that people had to drop it because it just wasn't the same show. It had a different aura. It's just different. Because Black Clover is not trying to be cool in the way that Naruto is trying to be cool, and it's not cool in the same way Naruto is going to be cool. Naruto is way more sophisticated than Black Clover's ever been, and Black Clover is way more of a gag anime than Naruto ever was. They're different shows. They're written differently. The characters are different. Art style is different, and past the basic similarity of underdog main character and lofty goal of main wizard, that's it.
But see, that's the problem, Jason. The problem that you're having here is that you're framing this as like, oh, if people just watch this show and get through those initial hurdles of the similar structures and everything like that, and the similar motivations and goals, then they'll see it as own identity.
I never said that.
You can do that for any of these shows out here.
No, but I never said that, though.
You did say that. Here's the thing.
No. I said because it's different, people inevitably dropped it. I'm not saying if people would watch
later
it.
on,
I'm saying people actually got over it.
They got over
Everyone still thinks Boruto is trash because it is. It was like 90% filler for a good year.
Yes, but Boruto took the heat. It took 90% of the heat off of Black Clover initially. You cannot tell me.
No. Boruto generated its own heat because it deserved more heat than it got. Boruto was so bad, Swag Kage doesn't make videos anymore.
Who doesn't make videos anymore?
Swag Kage.
Swag Kage.
Who's Swag Kage?
See, that's how much he hates.
Y'all nerds.
You weren't there.
You weren't there.
Wow.
You weren't there.
That's right.
You don't even watch openings.
I don't watch openings at all. I don't watch openings or endings. I get straight to the story.
My point is, it's apples to oranges. I think I don't think that's a valid take because how are you going to measure anime community hate? Nobody hates anime more than anime fans. No one.
Wait, hold on, Malcolm. I want to hear your take on this, though. I'm interested. So let me repeat this back to you. Mm-hmm. Black Clover's success only happened because Boruto got the Naruto clone hate first.
I see what you're saying. I just don't think I agree. But I see why you think that, though.
Okay.
I gotta keep thinking, but like I just
It's so interesting because I really feel like you guys don't understand. Like, yes, Boruto got a lot of hate. I agree.
I know what you're saying,
and it's trash, and that's why it still gets hate to this day. Whereas Black Clover, people kept like as the story kept going on, the consensus over it became more positive. But we cannot sit here and act like for the first like couple of episodes, it was not being trashed online on videos, being like, "This is literally like." People were making fun of
I agree
Asta
with you on
yelling and screaming and all this other stuff, like in the beginning of the show. That's why
I
for
agree with
me,
you on that.
but that's what I'm saying though is that like if Baruto did not come out, matter of fact, hold on, wait, I gotta Google this real quick. Jason, hold
There's
on.
no way you could possibly know that.
Hold on. When did Shippuden end, y'all?
Shippuden ended in
Shippuden ended in like 2016 or 2017.
Y'all, so Naruto Shippuden ended. Hold on, I gotta confirm that real quick. Ending date. I gotta confirm it. Dude, March 23rd, 2017 is when Naruto Shippuden ended. Boruto starts a few weeks afterwards. Y'all are telling me, like, be honest with me, objectively. Y'all telling me if those dates were reversed and Black Clover came out at Boruto's release date, it would have got more hate than it did as soon as Naruto Shippuden ended? Y'all
It might
telling
have
me
had
that?
less hate. I think it might have had less hate.
Less hate? Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all, okay. Y'all, you know what?
You know
guys,
why?
I'm talking to Naruto
Listen.
fans. They don't want to admit to it. That's why.
Listen. This is me as someone who didn't actually really like the end of Shippuden that much, mind you. What I'm saying is, there's no way for you to possibly know that if such and such dates got switched, then there's no way you would have known that. Because there's so many shows that you probably love and you don't know why people hate on it. And there are a lot of shows that you think are really, really good and you don't know why people are sleeping on it. There's no way for any of us to possibly know that. But all we do know, I'll agree, maybe there's a chance that if Black Clover came out in place of Boruto, it might have been a lightning rod in place of Boruto's hate. But again, that hate is going to bring attention and people are going to watch it. And the reality is it wouldn't have been considered broadly a good show if people didn't watch it and like it and keep watching.
Okay.
Because buzzwords don't keep people tuning in for 2 years straight.
That's true.
That hate dies down and people's memory is trash. People are going to move on to the next hot thing. So what kept people watching was the show was enjoyable to enough people that it mattered. Which is why I think your argument falls apart immediately. That show ran for almost 200 episodes. I'm on my third watch through.
Malcolm, don't say because that's still okay. Fine. So what Jason's point is simply is this: we cannot quantify the level of hate that Black Clover would have gotten if we swap release dates because it's at the end of the day hypothetical what if situation. For me, I understand that. But Malcolm was on the internet too. Jason wasn't. Jason wasn't on the internet during this time period. We were. Malcolm, you
we
agree
all
here.
had computers and internet connections.
Yeah, but you didn't have
He said
Twitter.
we all had internet. Yeah, you didn't have Twitter. You
I
had
had Twitter back in 2020. I deleted
you had
it in
MySpace.
2021.
You had MySpace. That's what you had.
I deleted my Twitter in 2021. I had a Twitter back then.
Okay. I'm jumping. Okay.
I'm out here making assumptions. Out here speaking for me. That's crazy work, bro.
But when Boruto came out,
That's true. He did have some. That's true.
But I hated it as much as everyone else was on Twitter. Because guess what? Twitter was leaking on Instagram back in the day.
It was. And so I hear what you're saying, Jason. And I guess this is where we'll have to agree to disagree. Because I think that if Black Clover came out, because it was getting hit hard with the Naruto clone treatment as soon as it came out. They was complaining about the protagonist screaming all the time, yelling, his characteristics. They were saying that who's his brother, Yuna, whatever his name is.
Yuna.
They were literally saying, "Oh, that's a Sasuke clone." Like they were literally making comparisons to Naruto, and Naruto Shippuden literally ended that same year. You're telling me that if they did not move that release date just up to Boruto's, I really do feel like the success of Black Clover
it was strategic, bro.
would be hard. I would say this. I think Black Clover's success No, I'm saying on business. Yeah,
It
it's
still got
always
hated on.
success is because of
My
that.
point is, it's still successful even though it got hated on for being a quote unquote clone of one of the big three. Naruto is like the biggest thing. I think Naruto in the American anime watching zeitgeist is still bigger than One Piece. And I think that's a fair argument to make. Because back in the day, they say you watch anime, the first thing they think is, oh, you Naruto run? That's what they say. Because
Well,
Naruto
they
is
think of Goku.
like what One Piece is out there is Naruto is right here. Naruto and Dragon Ball Z is right here.
Yeah, Western. Yeah, like
I'll argue Naruto's still bigger than Dragon Ball Z here, even if Dragon Ball Z has a bigger impact globally.
yeah, I can agree with that.
My point is, no show can survive that kind of online backlash unless it's good enough to get a community watching, pushing
Okay.
merchandise,
Okay.
pushing sales. And honestly, the show is heat, bro.
Y'all say this, and if I watch this show and this show is actually not good, because I
I'm
stopped at
not gonna
episode
lie,
20.
bro. I'm not responsible for your taste in anime, bro.
Yes, you are. Because if
No,
I
I'm
watched,
not. Because
I
the
got
reality
to,
is, you don't watch opening theme songs. Those openings are gas.
no, I don't.
I
Need
don't
to.
know how you feel about regular like goofy gags in Shonen because that's
Hate
a
'em.
huge part of the
Terrible.
draw of that show for me.
Terrible.
Two, the fight scenes are the arc ending fight scenes are gas. And Asta stands on business just as much as Naruto does, if anything, more than Naruto does.
Well, that's big claims. Okay. Okay.
Because guess what? At the very beginning of Naruto and the Zabuza arc, what did he do as soon as he saw Zabuza? Not even Zabuza, before that. He ran away. Sasuke was making fun of mans. That's why he had to be like, oh, you know what? I'm never going to run away. And then he cut his hand. And then after that, he was going to run away as soon as Zabuza showed up if he did not cut his hand and had the bandage on his hand to remind him. Why? Because he was still growing into his standing on business phase. But Asta was on that joint since he was a
From the
child,
beginning.
bro.
Again, you're talking about stuff if you have to invest in the show. Haters don't invest in the show.
Same number of episodes, bro.
No,
Same number of
that
episodes.
don't matter. Haters gonna hate. But
Episode
it's
per
fine.
episode. Naruto has things that are better than Black Clover, and Black Clover is not trying to be Naruto. It's a different thing. I'm not saying Black Clover is better than Naruto, but I'm saying Black Clover is good enough to be watched and followed
As
with
its
a
own.
large following.
Okay.
And that's not an accident. You don't get large followings on accident.
Understandable.
Especially when it's hard to sell merchandise in this day and age because most people don't buy
That's true.
DVDs anymore.
They sure don't. They just buy crack, I guess. I don't know. Jason, what's your hot takes?
I'm going. I thought,
You and triggered me.
Wait, Malcolm, what were you saying?
Jason, how many hot takes do you have?
2.
And how hot are they?
The one isn't really a hot take. I think it's my take.
Okay.
Okay.
Dragon Ball GT is better than Dragon Ball Super on the basis of character writing alone. Even if Dragon Ball Super has better animations and fight scenes. Pending Dragon Ball Super Beerus. That might be better.
No.
We don't know yet.
Just no.
But we've had this discussion so many times. I'm not getting into it. My actual really hot take is if Full Metal Alchemist came out today, it wouldn't be a top 10 anime on my anime list ever again.
Wow.
Because people watch anime completely differently.
That is a hot take.
People don't have the patience to sit through my anime, Full Metal Alchemist. And my proof is if you're a brand new anime fan, you don't watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because it doesn't look good enough for you. And you don't like listening to people talk, and you need the fight scenes to get hot immediately.
So you're
That's
saying
why
you're,
shows like Solo Leveling broke records, and new anime fans just can't sit through Full Metal Alchemist. I think people watch anime too differently than the way they used to because of the way the media has changed. For Full Metal Alchemist to ever be hot like it was back in the day. Like if we erase it from everyone's memory and drop the show exactly as it is right now, like scene per scene, like anime direction exactly the same, except buff it for like today's animation quality. I think it would still be popular, but I do not think it would ever. It would. I don't think it would cement that number one spot on my anime list because Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood has been very rarely and only temporarily displaced as the number one anime on my anime list, or not .net or whatever. And I think people would not like that. Would not be the case if it came out today, because people watch anime differently. That's my hot take.
James, you have a lot of thoughts.
I agree. I think this reminds me of a topic that we had. I think our last episode was is the 3 episode rule still valid? And my argument was it's not valid no more because the pressure is on for the mangaka and even animation companies to immediately grip you through action sequences right away. Like they have to give you the character motivations, everything within just 1 episode. They can't do this whole slowly progress, slowly build out this world like that, right? Like we used to consume back in the day. So if we watch, if Full Metal Alchemist actually did come out, and they just as it is right now, yeah, I do think it would have like its niche audience. Um, but I don't think it would be like in the top 5 like we usually see it all the time nowadays because people, it will be it'll be one of those if you know you know type of animes for people. Like, oh, if you really know anime, then you know Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood if it came out today. But yeah, I don't think we have the attention span. Not us, but there's some people who just
I mean,
wouldn't be
Loki
able to
us
sit down
too.
and consume that. You know,
I think
I,
if a show of that caliber dropped today, we might still miss it
and
because it's
also
not as though we're completely insulated from the way that media has changed. We're not.
was um was Brotherhood like just a continuous episodes or was it
No.
seasonal?
Brotherhood ran in one straight shoot the
I
same
was
way
about
that
to
the
say too.
original one did. They
Yeah,
just
see,
deviated midway through, and they also chose a different way to introduce the series. I would argue Fullmetal Alchemist, the original, had a better start, had a better first episode. I think Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood had a more flashy, action-packed first episode, but I think narratively, the first one did it better. Even
yeah,
if Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is better because it actually follows the mangaka.
yeah. I think I think that's the other big thing too. Is this is low key a separate conversation, but I'll just throw this quick point in there as well. Anime, a lot of animes will be fall to the wayside nowadays. Even if they're really good for seasons, they will fall to the wayside now because of how long it takes for another season to come out for typical animes, and because there's so much coming out, you kind of forget that oh yeah, there was a second season coming out like this season. Um, Whereas back then, like you said, for Metal Brotherhood, it was just continuous. It was just there you go, like every week. So I could see that, yeah, the first season might be fire, and people might be like, "Oh, this is really cool." Like, send us to be a hero. Oh, this is really fire anime, y'all. Keep your eyes on it. Da da. Cool. But once episode 12 of Brotherhood ends, you gotta wait 2 years for it to come out again. The hype won't be
Waiting
there.
2 years for 12 episodes. That was going to be my other joint. I forgot. Yeah. I didn't feel like a hot take, so I took it off the list, but like, I had two more now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to
Go
write them down.
ahead,
Just
say them, say them.
12 episode
He typed in like we can't just tell us.
animes are ruining anime. And isekais saved the anime of this generation.
Isekai saved this generation animes.
In the same way that horror movies are saving the movie industries.
Understandable.
But before I go into those two, I also wanted to draw a parallel between like the whole Full Metal Alchemist today versus um, like if something else would drop. Because I think in the same way that this has never been a better time in like history to get into video games, because technically the catalog only gets big. The catalog never shrinks; it only gets bigger. Technically, this has never been a better time to get into anime because there's so much out there and there's so much good stuff coming out all the time. There's so many good ideas out there. And I think the only sucky thing is because there's so many ideas and everyone's attention is so split, not everything is ever going to get its full adaptation. Like a lot of the hottest shows that came out way back in the day are kind of mid compared to some shows that are coming out now that aren't getting half the attention. There are certain shows that would have popped off like crazy, but they were in between when pirating became super easy on the internet and before streaming services had started like supplementing the loss of revenue that came when people stopped buying DVDs. and stopped
Yep.
subscribing to Funimation.
Mhm.
AKA shows like Noragami. Noragami would have been hot, like Soul,
Yeah.
like Soul Eater, what it was, but it came out a couple years later, and it wasn't making money, even though it was insanely popular because they hadn't found a way to like
Monetize it, make a
come up with a
profit.
better alternative to streaming pirated anime.
Yeah. Yep.
So again, there's like all these different caveats. Some of it business. I think 12-episode animes are ruining anime because for one, the production, like same thing with that meme in the video game. Like I want slightly worse looking anime. I want longer episodes. I want the animators to get paid more, and I want them to work less. And I want 24 episode ish ranged stories because again, if we keep appeasing the shorter attention span, the attention span is only going to get shorter. The seasons are only going to get released more and more widely apart, and everyone's just gonna no one's gonna enjoy anything.
We're gonna eventually get to 8
And
episode shows.
we're already moving in that direction. Like Dandadan just dropped, like stopped mid-season, no halt, no nothing, and then just picked back up like a year later, like that kind of stuff. Like, and that was
We
a little
already-
bit jarring as someone who was really, really, really enjoying that show and it being like one of the hottest shows that dropped last year. I think 12-episode animes are ruining anime. I think it would be better to have a slightly worse, less flashy anime that set up its stories properly, so that when you got to those hype moments, it was fine. One Piece certainly wasn't flashy for a long time. The flashiest thing about it was the punchiness of the storytelling.
This is the art style that Jason wants to bring back, by the way.
Nope, I'm thinking like
100%.
mid 2010s, like 20, like anything from like anything that was really solid between like 2012 and 2018, like that range. Like, can that be the bottom line? Like, can that be the status quo for a lot of these like smaller light novel series that are really good and drop really good 12-episode seasons and never get second seasons?
Death Note came
Like,
out in
if that's what it would
2006,
take to get us more than a 12-episode season of these shows that feel like they're just trailers for the anime to push, or trailers for the manga.
We are very
know?
old, y'all. This is crazy. How did
I just
Death
want
Note
to say
and Naruto
happy
come out
20th
at the same time?
anniversary. Yeah, happy 20th anniversary
To
to
Naruto. Oh,
and Code Geass. I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Code Geass is so good. And Code Geass still looks fantastic to this day. Like I don't like this anime looks good. Like it's the same way we could say like, yeah, I want PS5 and PS5.
This is what
Pro
Jason
looking
wants, y'all.
games.
This is the art style.
Don't put Clannad on there.
Hey, they put it on, not me.
The reality is, man, Soul Eater looks so good. Bone Studio was really snapped with that mug, bro. If you haven't seen Soul Eater, watch Soul Eater. There's fan service in that joint too, which James's first hot take kind of carries. But gas TV, bro. Besides, I don't think we'll ever see another Toradora again because of the way that we expect our animation to look. You know what I mean?
And
Unless our
Marco's brother.
expectations, I think if our expectations got more reasonable, and like you can call me out or say I'm stupid or whatever. I think if people's expectations became a little bit more reasonable and we stopped expecting to have like complete eye candy every 5 seconds, then when we would have eye candy, we'd appreciate it. And when we don't have eye candy, we'd at least be able to have sound stories being told. Steins Gate would not be hot if it came out today.
Oh,
At
100%.
all.
Dude, the fact that it takes like 8 to
And-
10 episodes for people, nah, people would have dropped it. I would have
I
dropped
would
it.
like a show like Steins Gate. I would love a show like Steins Gate and shows of that caliber to keep existing. But they're not going to keep existing if we can't even stomach a 3-episode rule.
Yeah, I agree.
And back to my new thing. Isekai saved anime this generation. What are your thoughts? On anything I've just said. About the 12-episode anime thing
just said a lot.
or the Isekais? All right, let's talk about the 12-episode anime thing.
I mean, I think me and Malcolm agree with you on that one, right? Malcolm?
Absolutely.
The 12-episode anime thing? is
Yeah,
ruining
I think
anime?
they need to be 24 episodes. I don't mind if they're a little bit less quality of animation, and animators, drawers, and producers, anybody need less hours, more time, be paid more too. Yeah, I think that was just all like straight facts. I don't have any unpopular hate towards that. I don't have nothing.
Yeah, me neither. I think I feel like 12-episode animes only work. Well, I don't say only work, but I would say this: if it's like a slice of life or a drama, yeah, do 12 episodes. I think the pacing of 12 episodes works really well for that. But if you're trying to
Yeah,
tell me like a fantasy adventure, bro, or like some type of shonen action anime, like Kaiju number 8, for example, why give me 12 episodes, man? Give me the full 24.
Kaiju number 8 should have been 24 episode season, both seasons,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
should have
And
been.
I also think that the breathing room you get with what we constantly call filler now actually lets those big moments actually sink in, and those shows actually become solid shows. Like,
So we need
I'm
more
about to
filler.
rewatch Full Metal Panic.
It sounds like that's your hot take. We need more filler.
I don't
I
even think it's
think we
filler.
do need I think we need a little bit of filler because I think Naruto wouldn't have been as good if we didn't have any filler.
I think we have
I
to be
think
careful.
Naruto had too much, but it needed some.
Yeah, Naruto's filler walked, so Boruto's filler could run. Is pretty much how it was. Um,
Naruto's filler wasn't even. I can't even call that filler.
I think I think we gotta be careful because I see people talk about this too with live action TV shows. I'm gonna keep it strictly on anime, but I see people with live action TV shows where they're like, oh man, like back in the day we used to have like 5, 8 seasons of shows, 1 hour long, 25 episodes, and all this other stuff. And there's this discourse that people have where a lot of people are cool with the 8 episode, 10 episode live action shows that we have today because to them, those 25 episode seasons like The Flash or whatever, or Lost or whatever, they felt like those things were filler. To me, I don't see that stuff as filler. So to focus on anime, it's not that like for me specifically, I'm saying I want filler. I just and this is a criticism that people had at JJK. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but the criticism that people have at JJK is that it doesn't have like that old classic shonen thing where it's like, yes, you have this intense battle arc that has a lot of emotional character development, but then we don't really get the transition into like the slice of life, funny moments where we kind of stay in that world of these cast of characters. Like if JJK is like this school of jujutsu sorcerers, you do one arc and then maybe not the next arc but maybe some like episodes afterwards would be like them doing basic slice of life ghost hunting, like something small scale where you're hanging around Yuji and Nobara and them and just enjoying their company. You're just watching them do these shenanigans, you know what I mean, like that. Like for
One
me it's
Piece did
less
that a lot.
filler. Yeah, like so for me it's less filler. It's more so, can we get some more of those slice of life moments that I think is still important to the plot, but it's not filler. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even some stuff it's filler, but it only adds. Like people love Dragon Ball Z filler.
I love
Like
Dragon Ball
that's
Z.
why I actually prefer Dragon Ball Z over Dragon Ball Z Kai.
My favorite will always be Goku and Piccolo trying to drive. That'll always be my favorite
Goku
filler.
and Piccolo trying to get their driver's license because Chi Chi was tired of walking to the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm like that's great. I love that episode.
That was a hilarious episode.
Yeah. So
But
we agree with you. So the next one was Isekai animes saved the new gen animes, right?
now this sounds like a clickbaity episode on YouTube if I've ever heard one.
It is. I'm gonna frame it just like that.
But what do you guys think of that statement before I even go into my long tirade?
How can they save
okay.
anime if I
Malcolm,
don't
do you want to
watch
go
it?
first? Yeah, Malcolm doesn't watch anime, so he can't have an opinion on this.
Well,
So
it's not what I
Malcolm
meant.
does watch anime.
Not what I meant. Isekai saved the anime industry, but like, no. No. How? I really
Like,
just need
no,
to hear
just
how.
didn't.
I need to hear your explanation.
Wait, before Jason, before you go into how, here's what I will say. Actually, I actually just thinking about it, I actually do agree with you that I think isekais did save animes, and because in my head, I'm thinking about the time period, the dark ages of being an anime fan, of like the 2010s, where pretty much
2014 straight through 2018.
yeah, where like there really wasn't any like show popping off that people were really grabbing to, even like underground shows that people were really into. Like there wasn't really a lot of that. It in a lot of these genres was really flourishing at all. We didn't really get into like the end of that until really My Hero Academia came out, and then Ray Zero came out too around that same time period, and then Isekai started coming out like crazy, like Reincarnation as a Slime and all this other stuff. So I would say that, like, I think as a genre, if we're saying what genre led anime out of the Dark Ages, it would be isekais. But go ahead, Jason.
I am glad that you said that. I'm glad that you mentioned the Dark Ages because I'm like saying I wouldn't say saved if there wasn't a period of time where it looked like anime was cooked.
Really cooked.
Because the shonens were ending, you can't just pull out another Naruto or One Piece out your butt. Like it's just not reality. Like those shows were a product of their time, and therefore they'll never happen exactly in that way again. People are not. People's attention spans were shrinking. Streaming was still changing the game, and to a certain degree, like the anime demographic was facing this new problem. For one, most people were aging out of the demographic. The demographic was growing up because less kids are being born, and more older folks are actually watching anime past their like high school years and their like early college years.
Yep.
You can't keep writing stories about high schoolers. That was a problem. I stopped watching most animes for a good 3 years. I was only keeping up with One Piece and like Naruto in spurts.
Yeah.
Mind you, I was thinking like, dang, like the anime has been a huge part of like my life. I guess I'm just not into it anymore. That's what I was legitimately thinking. I thought to myself in 2017, maybe once One Piece is done, I might just stop watching anime altogether. I was sitting there watching The Flash season 2, just binge watching that mug on Netflix instead because I was like, this is actually more entertaining for me. And I think in the same, and then you're getting more and more of the legacy shows and sequels nobody asked for. Sword Art Online was on its third season somehow, some way. Like I wasn't understanding. And I think when Isekais first came out, I kind of thought they were all like Sword Art Online clones, and I started watching them a lot this last year, like 2025, late 2024. I started watching more Isekais, right?
Yeah.
Finding in the same way that horror movies, because of their lower budget and the fact that they get to like write very independent, loose, freeform stories without as much like being inhibited by like other parts of the genre, other parts of the medium. I think isekais got to do the same exact thing, and they also got to free themselves of this like permanent classroom setting that a lot of the shonen demographic and even parts of the seinen demographic was stuck in. Granted, obviously there was a really big oversaturation of isekais, but again, it was a huge wave that broke this mold that actually allowed people to start writing creative stories again.
Yep.
Even goofy premises. We've seen a lot of goofy premises turn into really compelling stories, even if not every single one of them panned out to be great. Rise of the Shield Hero is a great example. The first season was fantastic. Second season, not. It's just not. But the first season was pretty good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? My Hero Academia is amazing. I think My Hero Academia was like the light in the dark as far as like shonen anime was concerned. I think as far as shonen specifically, My Hero Academia was kind of like the linchpin
Yep.
that like
Don't forget
kept
about
me
Food
going.
Wars
But
now.
I also think you wouldn't have had Food Wars. Food Wars kind of falls into your original hot take, bro.
It
It's
does.
really good
See,
storytelling, but it's the gateway. And the crazy thing is, I can't watch the show about food and watch those scenes and feel like it just like my brain just kind of turned that part off because I'm like focusing on the food. Anyways,
Yeah.
Food Wars is a great show. I would never watch that in the living room.
Yeah. Never.
Ever. I loved it. I ran through that show in a summer, like 4 seasons straight. Fantastic. But I do think Isekais saved the creativity and off the wall storytelling that I think I loved about anime in the first place. Because let's be real, American storytelling kind of follows certain tropes, and American storytelling in media can be a little bit pigeonholed to constantly trying to appeal to the broadest audience. Where anime, because it's coming from a different place than because we live in America, like anime is from a different place and a different culture. They have different social norms and different like ways of expressing themselves through media, through music, through the visual medium, through direction, and they're also inspired by some of the Western work, but also do their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic, and because of that, I think I still vouch for anime as a medium. And I think Isekai was a breath of fresh air, letting a lot of really stupid shows come on. Like, I watched a season of that stupid vending machine anime.
Why did you do that to yourself?
I was bored. I just needed something on in the background. And I'm not going to lie, that was still better than the Assassin show.
I have a side question for you, Jason and Malcolm. I've never watched this anime before in my life. Is that what Beastars actually looks like when you watch it? Or is
I
that
never
just the
watched
opening?
Beastars.
I
I think Beastars is furry bait.
to answer your question, I think that's just the opening. I actually don't know either.
Okay. I was getting scared. I was like, that is creepy.
That's
Interesting.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to people who watch Beastars. They get what they want.
Shout out to them, man.
I think people gonna watch what they're gonna watch. You got it. I'm not.
Yeah. Whether it's Rule 34 or My Academia, they're watching something.
Yeah, you got it. I'm not doing that.
But yeah,
So
I agree with Jason's point.
what
I do
Beastars?
think that like with Isekai, yeah. Oh, ReZero. I do think with dang, Tokyo Revengers came out 2021. I'm getting old.
Tokyo Revengers was so good. Did they ever finish animating that joint? Because I feel like I was in the middle of like I finished what they had as of like 2 years ago, and I don't know if I ever heard anything about a season coming out after that.
No, because it dropped because apparently the quality of the story went down. That's what people say.
In the manga?
In the manga, yeah. Apparently the author. I won't spoil it for people who haven't watched it. I still think if you want to watch Tokyo Revengers, give it a watch. I still enjoyed it, but I did read a little bit of the manga, and the author does a trope that is very hard to pull off, and it just didn't execute well. And then ever since then, it kind of ruined the rest of the story in terms of character development, in terms of the next story beats. It kind of just didn't work out well.
What did they do? Just say spoiler alert, but like, what did they do?
Spoiler alert. Basically, all that happened was that they just kept what people loved about Tokyo Revengers is the idea of this gang and about this protagonist, right, who stands up for his crew, and you get to go back in time to kind of like right your mistakes, right? It's all about him going back in time to go through his life again. And it was cool, but basically all that happened was the writer just kept. I won't spoil this, but there was a moment where it kind of feels fulfilled, like the journey is finally like complete and done. But instead of just like naturally ending it, the writer comes up with a new BS excuse for him to now go back through the time travel loop and start the process over again with a different goal. Yeah, basically. And people are like, I'm good.
So let's just say I get to that point of the manga and pretend that it actually ended.
Yeah, basically.
That's the best way to read the manga.
Yeah, just pretend it ends. So,
all right, I can get down with that.
But yeah, I think they're still making Tokyo Revengers. But yeah, so I agree 100% with Jason's point. I do think isekais. I will say, if Jason don't want to be bold to say, I'll say it. Isekai saved the industry. It made anime popular and mainstream again. Yes, My Hero Academia was there. Yes, the Naruto Clone Black Clover was there too. But we're talking about genres. Isekai was right there with its refrigerator, its vending machine,
slime.
I think just the concept, slime, all this shit. Rising of the Shield Hero. Yeah, people were watching this type of stuff.
I don't know why.
Not a good show.
I think the first season had a really solid premise of him getting set up.
Yeah.
And I think that mystery was compelling. I think they did a fantastic job of giving you a villain to hate right from the get-go. Obviously, the show got really weird.
Very weird.
And then season 2, even if you ignored the weirdness, it was just an unenjoyable, boring joint. The support characters really fell flat, never quite got up, and they started feeling more like archetypes instead of characters.
So, wait, is that both of your hot takes, Jason?
Yeah, that's all my hot takes.
Oh, Malcolm.
Okay.
What's your hot take?
I'll try to speed this up so we won't be here for another 2 hours.
Take your time, man.
Trying to think which one I want to say first. I'm going to start with, I think I've already said this on the podcast before, but Hellsing Ultimate is way too edgy, way too perverted, and way too fan servicey, and it is not a good show. It's just not. I'm not even going to say that it's like overrated. It's just not a good show.
Is Hosting Ultimate like I don't know what it is. Is that like the
It's a
yeah, it's the
original.
remake
it's the
of the
original?
original.
Okay.
And the original is so much better.
Did you both watch it?
Yes.
I watched both.
You watched both. Okay. I'm gonna put this up then. Go ahead, Malcolm. Explain your piece.
It's made for fans who. It's honestly, everything's going back to your first hot take. It's made for shonen fans who just want more ecchi in their anime, but also a lot of blood and guts and gore at the same time. And like literally right now, like this, like it's just made to be excessive, and I feel like it's just not for me at all. Not that I can't watch it.
There's
I'm
a lot
just
of
like
blood.
it feels like it's just they did this just to appease a certain demographic, but it doesn't make the show better.
Are they just saying, where's their heads at? What happened to their heads?
It's being put
It's
back together
wrong. That's so
with
interesting.
their vampire powers.
Guys, I'll tell the audience this too. I've never seen Hellsing in my life. I don't even know what the premise of this thing is.
It's
I
a
just know
vampire
it's
story.
supernatural stuff. Oh, so Blade, cool.
Yeah, but like, actually, it is a lot like Blade. Just
It's a lot like
See?
Blade, actually.
Yeah. I don't even know the anime.
The original Hellsing, I think, was a really good show. I do agree. Hellsing Ultimate's pretty not good show.
Okay, so we all in agreement. I haven't watched it, so I can't give my opinion on it.
I don't really think it's a hot take.
I thought people love Hellsing Ultimate better, like a lot better.
Do they?
Remember what we were saying about like a lot of people's tastes are based off their demographic?
Yeah,
Here comes the
What was the
philosopher.
age group that was watching it at a certain time? Like that stupid Classroom of the Elite show.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That's
I hate that show.
People
I hate that
love
show
it.
just as much as I hate.
this.
Actually, I think I hate that show more than I hate the
Assassin
Assassin is greater than the
Hero.
hero.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually liked Classroom of the Elite. I was into it. I was into it.
Are you
I was
serious?
I was
into it
into
too.
this. I was into like. I watched the first
Why?
2 seasons. I was heavy into that anime.
Why? Can you explain it to me?
I
Please?
loved all the tropes it was doing. I couldn't explain it. I love the protagonist just finding some way to just one up everybody every single time. I love the reveal of the blonde chick that was all like nice and everything like that. Turned out that she was just like, spoiler alert too, by the way. Find out that like she was just like this evil like bad girl basically. Like I just loved all the twists and turns. I loved
Everything you
it.
loved about it, I hated about it.
It's a guilty pleasure because I just love like it's such a they make it so complicated for no freaking reason. Like they'll
That's
have like
exactly why it sucks.
they'll have a segment where it's like, oh, here's the rules of the game and everything like that, and they give it to you, and then the protagonist finds some loophole, some way to just beat everybody, and I just sit there. I'm like, yep, I believe it. You're smart. You're a smart dude. All right, let's move on. I like this. I don't know. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
It's a stupid show.
Here's what I thought.
But I like it.
I did not think.
Say it's hot trash and I'll move on.
Hold on, it's not hot trash though. It's peak fiction.
Enjoyable trash to you.
It's peak cinema. Hold on, I gotta look it up. What's the rating?
Disrespect real cinema like
7.8.
7 point. Hey! People like it. I'll say this.
Ass.
I didn't know there was so much like this taste for this anime until shout out Mother's Basement. When the first season came out, let me tell you something. When the first season came out, I was like, "Oh, this is a banger anime. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited for season 2. Let's see what happens next." I'm thinking everyone agrees with me too. I see Mother's Basement post out a video, and it's like 20 minutes talking about how dumb this anime is. And then the comment section is all like, "I'm glad someone agrees. This thing is stupid. It don't make no sense." I'm like, "Dang, I liked it. I thought it was pretty interesting."
That's exactly how I felt when I looked into the reviews on my anime list for the Assassins show I told you guys I hated at the beginning of this episode, because I felt like I was being gaslit, bro.
Because you realize you was wrong.
No. I was just like, does everyone like this show? Like, is this what people think is good now? Like, am I missing something obvious about this? And I was reading it and I was just like,
No.
no. I think people are really enjoying the potential of the show. They're not actually enjoying the show.
I gotta find it. I gotta find it. What's it called, Jason?
And I did watch that Mother's Basement show, that Mother's Basement episode, and I also felt vindicated because by the time I watched it, I was just like, why does everybody think? Because people were telling me watch this show for years. Classroom of the Elite, it's so lit, it's so good, it's so classy, blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. I want a big brain show right now.
Big Brain
I want
Show.
like,
Yeah.
I want the modern Death Note. I want something that's gonna like catch me off my guard, like when you're watching like when the first time you watch Naruto, when you're watching the Shikamaru fight, you're like he does the hand thing, and you're like, I wonder how this nigga's gonna get out of this situation, and then he figures it out, and you're like, God, that was really satisfying.
Yeah.
That is not how I felt watching Classroom of the Elite
I mean, y'all
at
wrong. It has
all.
a 7.8.
No,
So
no.
that's
Tyranny of the
it.
majority.
That's it.
Stupid.
Tyranny is the majority. The one time we supported tyranny. Let's see. Let's see. What we got
Listen,
here.
bro, I'm glad you enjoy hot trash, but and I also enjoy some hot trash. I will tell you there are a lot of shows I watch that are really mid. I will even say that Black Clover, I love the show to death. I can't give it any higher than a 7 out of 10 because
This
there are
is
shows that are better than it.
this is a banger
But I
anime.
love it.
Chat. I know there's no chat here because we're not live streaming.
You're
But chat.
watching.
Let me tell you
Bro,
something.
ew.
Domestic Girlfriend is a good anime. I 100% recommend it.
It
If you,
looks like so sleazy.
it's so sleazy that it's actually really good. Like if you
So you're telling
want,
me to watch this show?
yes. If okay, just go into it just knowing it's gonna be just stupid, just stupid. What pulls me into the show is that it's so dumb that you're kind of intrigued to see how it all plays out at the end. To give y'all a good sense of what is it, I told you about this a little bit anyway, but to give the chat an understanding, it literally is about some kid, some teenage man in his teenage years. He goes to school and his father's divorced, and then he finds out that his father, not finds out, but he knows his father's dating, and he dates a woman, and I think his father actually marries this woman. Come to find out, this woman that the father marries is his pretty much the daughter is his teacher, I believe. Like the daughter of the mother is the teacher of his classroom, basically. And then he also has um oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting this completely wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting this completely wrong. Everything I told you was accurate, but the difference is that the mother has two daughters. That's what it was. Yes, the father remarried with this woman, and woman that he remarried with has two daughters. One is a daughter in like that lives with them in the house together because now the mother, the father, and him, and now the younger the sister. The other daughter is the teacher in his classroom. So there's a love triangle between the teacher in his classroom and his stepsister, essentially.
So he has a love triangle with both of his stepsisters.
Yes.
I'm not
One's
watching
one's a teacher,
that.
one's the actual stepsister. And let me tell you something. It is so dumb, but you just sit there and you just look at like how is this like how why? And you're just it's like the most if you like reality TV drama, it is perfect for you. It's really stupid.
Have you
It's
ever seen Please Twins?
no. Wait, let me see. Spell it for me. Is it police? You said?
No, I didn't say police.
I'm about to say police twins. I was like, what type of?
So back in the day, I would watch anything.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
And so
I
this
guess you
anime came
still
out in
do.
like 2003.
You still do.
I mean, recently with isekais, but for a while I was like super like I only want to watch like bangers and nothing else. But essentially, I went one summer like we didn't have anything to watch. I was just doing my like summer homework, and I found this show. Someone put the whole thing on YouTube, and I was watching it, and it's literally about this like love triangle between this guy and these twins. And what you're saying kind of reminded me of that, except there's no incest.
Well, remember, Step. So technically speaking,
Steelers.
That's what anime be trying to tell. You see, that's how they always get around this stuff.
Anime loves Steps as us. I mean, Kiss X was all that too.
Oh, now I gotta look up Kiss.
That's the whole plot of Kiss S6.
Hold on, I gotta share my screen and show these people.
You know what, James? The original point you made at the very beginning when you said Shonen is a gateway for gooners, you were just talking about yourself because it was your gateway.
That's not true. That ain't true. See, dude, I knew.
As you proceed to say, "Oh, this is so sleazy. This is so sleazy, but it's so
stupid.
Good."
It's stupid. But Kiss X6. If you guys listen, chat, Kiss X6, because Jason watched this and he told me to watch it.
I didn't tell you to watch it. I didn't tell you to watch anything, bro.
I'm pushing the agenda here. This anime right here is so stupid that someone in middle school was like, "Oh, you like anime? Here, watch Kiss X6." It was like if you guys are younger, if you guys like Gen Alpha,
it was the de facto gooner anime back then.
It was the anime that people said, "Oh, watch this." Like it was either Kiss X6 or Puku no Pico, which the two animes people were like, "Oh, if you like anime, check out this anime." Right? Come to find out, it was just some nasty whatever stuff. Don't watch it, okay?
You were supposed to look up Hellsing Ultimate and versus Hellsing to see which got a higher score.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let me do that. Right.
Oh
Hellsing,
yeah.
I did say that. 7.5 out of 10
is. That's crazy. Hellsing Ultimate scored way higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 point. The people spoken.
I'm telling you, bro. People want good animation and good fight scenes. And
remake is better.
Hellsing Ultimate did have some good animation and some good fight scenes.
And gore.
I think it was over the top, and I think the original one had more class. I don't think it was the same studio either.
Yeah, because Hellsing Ultimate was made by Madhouse. Hellsing was made by Gonzo. Yeah, different studio. Okay. So yeah, the people have spoken. Malcolm, Ultimate was the better version than the OG Hellsing. Apparently,
it's more popular. Might not be better.
Oh, fair point. What's your other take, Malcolm?
Bakugan was better than all the other gaming, card game, toy game, anime shows. It was the best out of all of them.
It was better than Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Really?
Bakugan
had a small audience when it came out. Bakugan had a small audience when it came out. I remember the commercial.
Better than Yu-Gi-Oh, better than Pokemon, better than Digimon.
Bakugan's lit. I agree.
Or especially the first season.
I would argue it's definitely... back when they were like... When the Bakugan were like in like these caves where they were like spinning tops and it would crack out, and then like that's that first season.
Did that happen?
Season 1.
I'm talking about like season 1 like they found those. Oh, Bakugan. I'm thinking like Beyblade. I'm stuck in Beyblade.
I was about to say like Beyblade. No,
it's better than Beyblade. Beyblade was tough too. It's up there.
Beyblade was a little bit better than Bakugan, I think.
I disagree. That's my hot take.
And I still think Beyblade's better than Bakugan. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is better than both of them.
Hold on, you gotta play the audio. I can't hear it.
You want to play the audio too?
Can you play the audio?
No, because we're gonna get copyright if I play the audio.
Is that like an option?
Yeah. I ain't trying to get copyright now.
You can play like 15
Wait,
seconds.
Here, I'm gonna play this
for all
instead.
15 of our viewers.
Yeah, for all 15 of our viewers. Hold on, let me play it real quick. Here you guys go.
Not this. Ew, this is AI. Get this AI concept trailer.
This is Bakugan. This is it.
Joke out of here.
We don't support AI on this channel. We don't.
Nobody wants to see a live action Bakugan.
No.
Why not? Was it this one?
Was that the original first season?
I
think so. This is right here, yeah.
Man, this brings me back to those Cartoon Network Saturday mornings, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know a show I really wish I watched when I was younger that I never watched?
What?
Which one, Jason?
The original Digimon anime.
OG one. That thing was pretty good.
Never watched any of it. I watched some of the new Digimon, like Time Beat or something like that. Pretty good.
You gotta, man. That now, if you want to talk about an opening, that was one of the openings I remember.
That you remember and actually watch.
Yeah, I just
he didn't watch any of the Naruto openings, but he remembers Digimon.
Hold on, right here. I gotta put
this guy.
This can be copyright anyway.
I can't hear it.
I can't hear it either.
Good shit. Well, you can't hear it?
No.
Y'all can't hear it.
He's just there jamming by himself to this.
Oh, he's jamming like, oh, this is fire. Y'all can't hear this, bro?
Everyone I've ever heard a review online of said that Pokemon out-popularized this show, but this was written so much better, and also the show had a lot more stakes in it. People told me, and then people also said like the characters actually grow.
Watch the first season of Bakugan and come back to me then.
Is that gonna be on my list now?
Watch the first season of Bakugan, the first season of Beyblade, and the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh, and see which one of these hold up better.
Ooh, let's do that. Beyblade.
That sounds like a fun challenge, doesn't it?
Why not Pokemon? Why can't we throw Pokemon in there?
No.
That's the OG. Remembers the first season of Pokemon.
All right,
no, we're not doing Pokemon because they monopolize the whole monster business.
That's true too. Fine. So Digimon, Beyblade, and Bakugan. Okay, cool. Okay, go ahead, Malcolm.
What was I going to say? To Love Ru sucks. It's a terrible show. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing the manga for it.
To Love Ru?
Yeah.
You read the manga?
No, I didn't. I'm just tired of seeing it advertised everywhere. Or like anytime I walk into a library.
Where do you see it advertised?
I don't know. I've seen it in like plenty of different manga sections. And anytime I walk in.
Wait, what's the anime called again?
That joint's like 20 years old.
I know. I don't know why.
To Love Ru.
And that's why I kept seeing it.
That's kind of crazy. I thought that was like old news.
And so when I
heard of To Love Ru, I think I was in middle school.
That came out 2008. No, it didn't. Yeah, 2009.
Yeah. I remember when I watched.
I remember that anime. Wait, Malcolm, you said overrated?
Yes. Because I don't even remember where someone like recommended it. And like I was just like, okay, well, I've seen it everywhere. Let me watch it. And then it has like 4 or 5 seasons. It has like 3 movies.
It's an ecchi, bro.
That's fair. But it has like 4 seasons.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh. I never watched this. Thank goodness. 6.96. Well, pretty much, Jason, Gooners, my theory holds up. People gave it a 7 out of 10, basically.
All right, folks. James's theory holds up. The shonen anime predominantly is a gateway for anime watchers to transition to more goonish anime.
Y'all are gooners,
because
bro.
Too much of the anime we've talked about, I think because you said it, it just keeps popping up in our conversation. And there's no getting away from it.
So all y'all shonen fans out there, I know what y'all be watching, okay? I know what y'all watch list is without me even having access to your watch list account. What's the camera?
Speaking of you, when I checked your watch list, when I went to that's crazy.
Yeah, my Crunchyroll. Yeah, what was it? You said I was watching some crazy. It was like something on my watch
list.
Dude,
I like couldn't get like 3 minutes into the episode. I was just like, "What the heck is this?"
Let's put these people on, man. Let's put these people on. What was it called?
I don't know what it was.
Wait,
called.
was it hair?
I remember what it was about loosely. It was the whole premise when I read the description was it's a show about. Let me go to your watch list real quick.
Yeah, go to my watch list. Because at this point in the podcast, we're putting people on to like anything, regardless at this point.
I mean, all right, it's called Want to Be the Strongest in the World. And it's about a group of like, the pop idol singers, like, the idol animes.
That's right.
Except the main character also wanted to be like a top wrestler.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. Hold on. Wait. Malcolm, let me sell you on this real quick, okay? Hold on. So, I have never watched a single footage of this at all in my life yet. It is on my watch list, though. I think I saw a clip of it online, maybe. The premise when I read it was there's this pop band in Japan, some teen pop band. And one day, one of the pop band members were downplaying how the quality of wrestling, how good it actually is, and how like it's not good wrestling. These people aren't good. Yada yada yada. It's trash. It's a sport. No one cares about wrestling. So one of the women wrestlers overheard this pop member saying this, and she stood up to him like, "Oh, what you talking about? Why are you downplaying like my passion, my sport that I love? And the pop band member stood on business. Things happened, an altercation. The pop band member got destroyed by the wrestler lady. And so the lead singer was like, oh, you're going to do this to my people. Guess what? I'm going to become a wrestler myself to show you how easy it is to become a wrestler. That's the anime.
Ensues tons of ecchi. It's not watchable.
Is it? Is it ecchi?
Dude, it's super ecchi, bro.
It's about to be.
Like,
I'm about to look it up,
bro.
Let me see.
No, don't look it up.
I'm not gonna show it because it might actually. This came out in 2013. This is definitely ecchi.
I already told you. There's no reason to look it up, and you're looking it up anyway.
If it came out in 2013, it's definitely ecchi. Ecchi.
Malcolm, do you see this man?
I see him. Yeah, he's a
hold
gooner.
on.
He's the gooner of the group.
Hold on. No, it's not being a gooner. I'm just trying to see like what was it.
I told him this. I was like, it's not watchable.
Side point. This back to Jason's point. Jason's point was he wants to go back to the old school anime styles of the 2010s because of whatever reasons. This is the style he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
This is the style that he wanted to see.
That is like 90s.
This is
the
like
quality,
1995, bro. That's not what I was talking about.
This is the exact style that he was gunning for.
This is like 10 years before what I was talking about.
Save the budget. Don't do the Demon Slayer budget. Go back to this 24 episodes of just this art style. If you don't like this art style, you're not an anime fan. That's Jason's words, not mine.
This is like 1987 anime right here.
This is what he stands for. Jason is gatekeeping you guys right now. He is saying that if you don't appreciate this art style, if you always want the Demon Slayer type quality in your animes, you're actually a fraud. That's what he's telling you.
I didn't say that. I just want more low tier animes to actually get finished.
So with that being, that's why he wants this type of anime style, because lower tier animes need this type of style so that way the budget could be brought back down, more profit. Like, look at this. Look at this.
What is this show?
I don't know. I just typed in. I just looked up an anime wrestler. And this is what we're watching. Dang, beat him up too, though.
Damn.
Beat him up like crazy. Dang.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna watch a show from way back in the day, watch Hajime no Ippo, bro. Instant classic. One of the best shows out.
So this is a female wrestling anime. That's crazy. Ooh, I knew that hurt. Ooh. That hurt. What? Dang, you see how far that leg went back? Dang.
Can you pause this?
Sorry. I'm engaged. I'm like, this is crazy action sequence.
Distracting, and Malcolm is still in the middle of his list.
My fault, Malcolm. Jason interrupted you. My fault. Go ahead, buddy.
Nah, it's all right.
I didn't interrupt. Did I? I'm sorry.
No, I don't think. James once again interrupts. He gets distracted. His ADHD is just like got himself distracted.
It's going crazy right now.
Forgot.
Go ahead, Malcolm.
Do you remember what I said?
You were talking about...
No, Jason, don't say nothing. I want to see if James remembers what I said.
I have no clue what you were saying.
He doesn't even remember.
I think he was talking about... I don't know. What was you saying?
Wow.
Malcolm, can you start from the top?
I knew you saw something about wrestling, and Jason brought up the wrestling.
I did never mention wrestling. That's crazy.
That was all you, bro.
Jason brought up the wrestling anime that I went on the deep dive looking for the video.
No, I said you had a suspect show in your watch list.
All
I said was To Love Ru was overrated. Somehow we got it.
Yeah, that's all he said was To Love Ru.
90s
anime. And then Jason...
I agree.
I agree. I think To Love Ru was also overrated. I never watched it a day in my life.
Next hot take.
That was my 3 hot takes. I don't have any more.
Then that was all 3?
Yeah.
Dang.
Y'all just agreed with me. So,
all right.
There's nothing else to say.
James didn't watch. James, you didn't watch any of the 3 things I mentioned. You never seen Hellsing. You never seen Bakugan. And you never seen To Love Ru.
I'm a fake anime
fan, bro.
I ain't watching none of those things. For some reason,
I didn't watch too much.
I got into Supernatural way too late. Like, I was into Supernatural 3 years ago, 4 years ago, really. So I missed all this stuff.
TV show.
No, the genre.
Yeah, like anime TV shows.
Not
like
not Supernatural, the TV show.
No,
I thought you were
no,
talking about
no.
the CW show. I'm like, I thought we were talking about anime.
No, no, I'm talking about just as a genre. Like I didn't get really into like until like 3 years ago. So all this other stuff y'all talking about Helsing and I don't know, Boom Boom Goes to Dynamite. I never watched at all.
Boom Boom Goes Dynamite. All right, James, why don't you wrap this up since our whole episode is just so weird.
All right, y'all. This was the first episode of 2026. Like I said, we about to be consistent. Okay, so definitely give us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. If you're on the YouTube, give us a like and comment. If you did make it to the end of the podcast, comment hashtag James is right, Jason was wrong. Okay. Malcolm, what's your closing statement?
Watch Bakugan. That's all.
Jason, what's your closing statement?
Black Clover is the most enjoyable 7 out of 10 shonen you're gonna get.
All right, y'all. Peace out. I'm just yapping at this point. Peace.